Welcome to the Cars and Cancer podcast. It's episode 4, and in this episode, Andy introduced us to the world of prosthetics. Enjoy.
Okay, mate. Good.
And we can take it from there. Are you all well, gentlemen?
Yes, mate. Very well.
Has that rash cleared up, Darren?
Rash, which one?
Because I'll have the cream back if you're finished with it. We could talk about our health. I was going to just give you gents a bit of an update. I had a phone call. I've forgotten how to talk. I had a call from my, not my consultant, but from haematology, because a few weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer than that, I had a couple of CT scans.
Yeah.
That's the big polo, isn't it? The CT scan.
The
big polo, yeah. So I had a couple of those done. I had the bottom half of my body and the top half of my body done. Just because I'd been really low on energy, not feeling great, a few aches and pains, that kind of stuff. So, and you know what it's like, gents. All you got to do is feel slightly under the weather, and people always expect the worst, and they think you've got cancer again and all that kind of stuff. So, but the doctors rightfully, they put me through and had these CT scans. I've had blood tests as well and bits and bobs like that. And I got a phone call late on Friday. Lovely chap. Yeah. I can't tell you his name, but he was a really nice chap. And he rang me up and he said, in a nutshell, he said that we've looked at your scans and they're absolutely clear. There's nothing there at all. He looked at my blood results and I think they're called follicytes or something like that, are very, very low. So I'm very low in folic acid. Yeah. So I need to take some folic acid. So I've been taking some already, but I've got to really up the dosage. So I'm quite low on that. So maybe I'm pregnant. I don't know.
You could be.
I could be. Yeah. The signs are there though, weren't they? To be honest, you know, the mood swings and all that kind of thing. But yeah. So I'm a bit low on the old folic acid, and take a bit of vitamin D. And I'm going to go and have a urine sample on Wednesday, and they're just going to check me out for some sort of like bladder infection and things like that, because I'm pissing for England at the moment. So, but that's a bit of good news on the channel, really. So, so that, I mean, I was a little worried, but not majorly worried. But then, as you know as well as I do, is it then puts worry onto the family and friends, and you know, they're worrying about you and that kind of stuff. So, But no, it's not come back, and I've been kind of told that the cancer that I've had is, for it to come back, is extremely rare. It's kind of, when it comes, if we beat it, then it shouldn't come back. If it does come back, it'll come back in the first couple of years, but after that, it should be right as rain. So so a bit of good news. So I'm really chuffed with that, and that's, and one less thing to worrying about. What about your health? Sorry, Darren.
Your blood cells and white cells are all good. No, any of those low?
I've got. I think they were okay. I think there was a higher than normal level of lymphocytes, which I haven't done too much homework on that, but I think it's obviously to do with your lymph nodes in some way, and I think it's a little bit higher than they would like, but I don't think that's but they're not worried. They're not worried about it. So I think you naturally have some in your blood. I could probably do a bit of homework on that.
Platelets are still.
They didn't seem too bothered by that. But me just feeling low and lack of energy is just due to the folic acid and just take vitamin D and just take some of the vitamins just to perk myself up a bit. And then hopefully this bladder thing is just an infection that's just been hanging around for God knows how long, and hopefully I can get that shifted. But because I remember when we went to the Mallory, was it Mallory Park?
Was it Mallory? It was, wasn't it?
It
The
was
last one,
yeah. I kept going to Lou all the time, so I've had it for quite a while. But he reassures me it's not age, because I said, have I just got to that age? And he was like, no, it's not that, mate. You're okay.
Yeah, it's just been kind.
Yeah. So he's just been polite. Yeah, I know. Yeah.
I think.
So yeah, so I'm all good. I'm okay, and it was a big relief for the family.
Great. Yeah.
And stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm all good. Anyway, it's enough talking about me. What about you, gents? How's things with you both?
Well, I've been my plastic surgeon today at Stoke, Mr. Apostolou.
Oh,
yeah. So I went to see him, and he's pleased with how I'm healing up on my head.
Okay.
He said there's something they could do with my arm, so I've had a skin graft on my arm.
Yeah.
So it's not so scarry and itchy.
Okay.
So I said I'm not
going to remove it.
Yeah, I'm not really bothered about the scarring on my arm because in the summer I just wear a cover over it.
Right.
Or a long sleeve t-shirt. I'm not that bothered. And on my leg, it gets a little bit itchy when it gets cold, but I've got this cream I put on it, does the job. So I'm not too bothered about those two bits, but I'm bothered about the sound a bit. My head's all caved in, isn't it, where they should have put the plate?
Yes.
Yes.
So I mentioned about prosthetics, and he was like, right, so there's a couple of ways of looking at it. If you want one that you can put on and it stays on, we're going to have to put little hooks into your bone so they can clamp it to it.
Right, okay.
You've got the same thing happening before. It could get infected because I had radiotherapy, and you could end up being back in hospital like you were before. I said, I don't want anything. I don't want nobody going in there. I said to him, I want something stuck on there. And he just laughed. He said, yeah, we can make them so they can stick them on. So he said, I'll pass me on to this other doctor. He said, I'll send you for some pictures today if you want. And I said, yeah. So he sent me up to this photographic room in Stoke. And he sat me down, took pictures of my head, and then passed that on to the doctor. So I'm underway for some prosthetics.
Oh, brilliant.
Is that kind of making something that fits into the sort of the indentation of your head then?
Yes. So I mean, I'm going back to when I looked at it on Google before I went. It brought up people from like the Second World War when they've had like the faces blown away by mines and stuff, and they make one exactly the same that you just stick on. It looked really, really good. That was then. So I don't know what they can do now.
Those materials have changed hell of a lot, haven't they?
Yeah. So I told him I've got 12 months of chemo, and he said, "Oh, sorry about that, but I shouldn't have to wait that long for him to do this if I've started it now."
Yeah.
So it could take over a year to get in there, but I've started it. So yeah, really, really good day today at Stoke.
Oh, great!
That's sounding really positive.
Yeah.
Can they not? I know you said it took a while to heal, but could they not just do like a small incision and just put some of that? This is crude, and I'm sure there's something better than that. Like you put that expanding foam in.
Yeah.
Can they not just Can they just make a small incision and just put something in there and then?
The thing is, it was because I had 6 weeks of radiotherapy. My skin wouldn't heal.
Right.
So it doesn't matter what they'd put in the way.
Yeah.
It wouldn't heal up. So Mr. Apostolou took me down to theatre and he cut a little bit that wasn't healing up.
Yeah.
And put 4 stitches in there, and that took it should heal up in 3 weeks, but it took like 12 weeks to heal up. So I'm really slow on healing where I've had my radiotherapy. So I've just got to be real careful what I do in that area.
Not flick some filler in there.
Yeah. Yeah, sort of job out that would, wouldn't it? A bit of that polyfiller.
Yeah, or get yourself down a panel beater or something like that. And where they have those sort of sliding hammers where they could just weld some of those strips on and then they could just pull the dent out.
That's it, yeah. But it's got to be something I can put on and take off.
Oh, okay.
You said it,
double-sided tape then. Okay,
that's
fine.
it.
Yep.
Be something that's too permanent. So he said if you want to go out somewhere, you can put it on and then take it off when you're at home, which I don't mind not having it on when I'm at home. It's when I go out.
I can understand that, yeah.
Because it's indented in my head. My hair's got to the point now where it's nearly covering it, but it goes into the indent and then out. So I need it needs something just to level it
something
back.
catch the level off, and then your hair is just lying on top on it, and you wouldn't even see it, would you?
Yeah.
And would it be skin coloured? Would they try and sort of match your skin, or are you going to have like different colours, and you're going to have like the England flag on or something like that?
I don't know. I'd have to see when I get to that point, won't I?
I think that look quite good. Bit of a checkered flag on there, or a Stoke City badge, or something like that.
I don't know about Stoke City. Not how they're playing at the moment.
No.
A bit like Southampton. You don't want to say how good they're playing, do you?
No. Football's a stupid sport. Let's just move on from that, shall we?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's really positive, though, Andy. That's good to hear.
And I went with my and she was like, it was really, really good. Not like, when I was in there with the infection, they were doing the jobs today. There's me doing their jobs.
Great.
Yeah.
Mr. Apostolou, he's like, anything he does, it works out.
So right. Well, he can do your cancer treatment then. Get him on there.
Yeah, get him on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but he's a really good plastic surgeon. He's not. I don't think he's English.
No.
He's I don't know. He's definitely not English. I'll tell you what he is. I'll look on the form and see what he is.
Okay.
But
he's just got to work with the rest of your face now. That's the problem, isn't it? Yeah. He's good, but he's not that good.
Yeah. So that's my update for today.
Oh, good man.
Oh, that's brilliant, mate. Yeah.
Good. And flying back into the UK, Darren.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. How is your health, my good man?
Yeah, mine's okay, mate. I had a little bit of a scare, I think, a couple of days ago when I first got back. I got a bit of a sore right under my right arm, and I know where all your lymph nodes are because my son having not the same as you, but he had the same illness, but a different type. Because there's only, other than yours, there is only two other types of Hodgkin's, and one's treatable, one that isn't. So I know where all of his lymph nodes are. So it was really hurting when I was out, and it went a bit red, and I could actually feel sort of like a bit of puffiness in the skin. I'm like, oh shite, what's this? So I've left it a couple of days, and it seems to have settled down. So whether it was a little bite of something, I really don't know. Very sort of sore, and it was right where your lymph nodes are, underneath your armpit, but it seems to have settled down a bit the sort of day.
Oh, good.
I had to go to the dentist because for some reason it's. I think it's very similar to what you were saying, Andrew, about infections. Now your skin wouldn't heal.
No.
Because I had all mine inside my mouth and on my tongue and my throat, and it took all the skin out. It took such a long time for healing, and I could be prone to getting this. It's like almost like an infection in your bone, basically, and it can make your jaw bones crumble, which means it would have to be reconstruction of metal jaw plates put in, all sorts of things like that. But the other side of it is I have to have this. It's called Durafat, I think it's called, like a toothpaste I have to have. That I don't use ordinary toothpaste, and it's just to try to help build up the sort of gums in my teeth. But what I'm finding is they put a filling in, and then they just drop out after 2 or 3 weeks. They seem to hold, and they just they fall away from it. And every now and again I think, oh, what is that? Something in my food, and it turns out to be a tiny little bit of a tooth somewhere. And it's almost like, with you saying about the infections, I said to him today, so it's bothering me now because fillings aren't staying in, and I'm getting a bit conscious of my teeth. Do you know what I mean? Where they don't look as they did before. And I said, well, I'm in a very high risk area when it comes to your teeth, and they don't like taking them out. You just take them out, and they get too close to the nerves, and you can get infection very easy, and then it can trigger off this problem with your bones if the infection got into your bone. So they try everything but taking the tooth out because of radiotherapy. And this is one thing that really, Andrew, I don't think people realise how much damage radiotherapy does in different ways. It's great for getting rid of what it's targeted for.
Yeah, but it's everything else.
Effects afterwards. Yeah.
So do they give you an idea before you have radiotherapy? Do they give you sort of what possible side effects are?
They said, because you have to go to see the dentist at the hospital and they deal with all reconstruction work, and they check over your teeth, and the slightest little fault with your teeth, tiniest little crack. I had an airline crack in one of my teeth, so that tooth's got to come out before I start radiotherapy.
Yeah.
And straight away. I said, well, there's nothing wrong with it. It said, it's a tiny little airline crack, so can't you fill it? He said, no, it'll just fall away. As soon as radiotherapy goes in to fill it, it'll just break out, and it could damage your nerves. So it seems like that is, your teeth anywhere now when it's on your head, it's the after effects in your jaw, like my muscle cramps and my jaw's very stiff. Even 5 years later, and it's still like it. And then you get pains in the one side the blasted more than the right side more than the left, and that's kind of, my tongue still gets really sore. And if you've had something a bit spicy, or you may have had a drink, and whatever, you think, oh, I just need to a good old brush and freshen my teeth up, sort of my mouth up. Like, I wake up like that during the night all the time, and I said to the dentist today, it's an horrible feeling. So I know my mouth is clean, and it's like these wash ears and toothpaste. I said, but it never feels like that. It never feels clean and fresh. It always feels either I'm a bit choked up, or my tongue hurts, or my mouth's all gone numb, or there's like stinging on the side. And they just said they think the healing process has come to the end now. That's it. It isn't going to get any better than this. They can't guarantee that it will. He said, they just say, I think you just got to live with the after effects of it now, and this is how it's going to be. But it's not nice, because it's like when you've almost like you've rushed out and you haven't had time to brush your teeth, and you've had a load of food, and you think, God, you're sort of conscious because your mouth doesn't feel clean. Do you know what I mean? And you kind of want to keep going back and brushing your teeth, and it makes no difference whatsoever. Yeah. It still just feels crap.
Oh, have you got you can have like mints or chewing gum? Does anything like that help? Or
to be careful of, I can only have sugar-free ones, but then if they're slightly too strong, it's just like having a really hot curry. It just burns my mouth.
Wow.
Yeah, will do.
And then it causes your saliva glands to work very, very quick. And as soon as that happens, when I first have a mint, I have to be careful, because my saliva glands work really quick, and I can't control whatever runs down the back of my throat. It goes into my airway when it's open. So I have one thing to make it help with it, and it just causes another problem.
Go on, Ben.
But no, on the whole, it's all right. This was a big concern on my arm, but it seems to have settled down, so I'm sort of really pleased about that. And the rest of the problem, she just said, I've got to get you in really quick. I want them fillings put him back in again. Quickly. Don't want to leave them like they are. So they're not open, they just seem to have pulled away, but they don't want any gaps leaving anywhere and give anything a chance. But she did take more x-rays than normal. She wanted to make sure there's nothing going on the one side of it, because she said it felt a bit tender. And I said, well, I wouldn't worry about that personally. I said, because that side always does. When I had my hair cut, and the little trimmers, and they do the sort of back of your neck.
Yeah.
You just touch the back of my neck with one of them, and it's like someone's touched it with a red hot poker. Yeah. And she said, oh, did I catch your skin? And I said, no, it just did it so tender. And that's all this time after. And I think, well, is that going to stay like that? Because as soon as the little clippers go anywhere near it and touch it, it's really, really sharp. It feels like it's sharp, like it's going to pinch the skin,
Yeah.
Like really burning, stinging pain, but she can't barely touch it. And there's that same pressure all the way around, and you get somewhere else there, and it's just like it is when you go to the barbers yourself. But just that back of my neck, there's certain areas that are more sensitive than others, but I don't think it's going to go, really. I think that this is just how it will be, I think.
Yeah, I think you're still learning of how your body is.
Yeah.
I think after you've had treatment and you're given the all clear or whatever, you need to work out what your new normal is.
Yeah.
And because you're not the same.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're the same, but I can't remember what I was like before I was ill. So if I get a little ache or pain, I don't know if that's normal. Or if that's normal now because of the treatment I've had, and because they said to me, they said that the chemo has cleared the cancer and that's fine, but we don't know what else it's done inside your body. We can't see anything bad, but you don't know what the impacts are, because everybody's different, aren't they, and that kind of thing. So if I get the odd ache or pain here or something, is that because of that, or is it just because that's what a perfectly normal, healthy person gets? I don't know. So. And I think if you do go to the doctors now after you've had some sort of treatment, and then you say these things, then they're just on heightened alert, aren't they? They just want you to be checked out as soon as possible, and something that you just think, oh, I'll just ask about it, and then the next thing you know, you're having CT scans and blood tests and stuff. And it's
I think after a little while, once that happens, the first couple of times it happens, it sets you in autopilot for complete panic, doesn't it? And then you suddenly realise, no, it's not that. They're doing it so you don't get to that stage. It's just I suppose they prioritise really. And you prioritise someone that goes in and says, "Oh, I've got a bit of a pain in my leg or a pain in my back." They just say, "Well, what have you been doing? Have you been doing any sports or anything like this?" Whereas I think when you've got any kind of a history, it's like, right, let's look at the worst scenario first and work backwards.
Yeah, and it goes back to what we said last week. Once you're in the system, it's very good. I mean, look how quick you got seen with the plastic surgeon, Andy, and in the same day, they're taking pictures and sizing you up for it. So once you're in,
you're on board.
Yeah, it can be a very good. It can be a very, very good system. It's just so we're kind of the lucky ones in a way, because we've been through this, and we're sort of, if anything does happen that doesn't feel quite right, we get generally seen quite quickly. So we are quite fortunate to be looking at it that way. But going back to your sweat, going back to your lump, I didn't know if it might be like a blocked sweat gland, because I had one many years ago, and I had a bit of a lump appear there under my arm. And then after a week or so, it just cleared up, and I was told that sometimes it can be a sweat gland if a certain deodorants can block a sweat gland or something like that, and then it will just naturally go down.
Sensitive, it could well be, mate. But it's settled down now, and the soreness is gone. I found that when we was out, I was kind of resting my arm on the chair, stop my arm, put my arm down, because it just pinched it and it started to hurt all the time, So I was kind of walking around like I was carrying a carpet most of the day.
Cool. Okay. So all in all, we're doing okay. I mean, obviously, Andy, you're going through it again, Andy. But that sounds quite positive. What's going on with you, mate? And you're not on chemo this week, so that's good.
Yeah, I've got to go for blood test next week to see if my white and my cells are okay.
Yeah.
And then start my chemo then.
That's it, because your immune system is building itself back up now, isn't it, after the chemo? So it sort of regenerates, and I suppose once you get up to the desired levels, then they'll hit you with another dose, won't they? And then it'll drop all down again, and the fun starts all over again. So you can keep us updated on that, mate, and you can tell us all the great news and all that kind of stuff. And so really, really good to hear. Do you want? I can give you an update on the numbers of people watching this farce, if you want, or listen to this farce.
Yeah, definitely.
The subscriptions is still at 3, so we're not quite ready for the big time yet, I'm afraid, Andy. So but our views have gone up by another 12, so we're up to 57 now.
Wow.
So, I would like us to, if we could sort of get around about 60 or 70 by Christmas. I think that would be great. That'd be nice. And, I mean, I'm not expecting big numbers, but it would be nice just a few more people get listening, and hopefully they get word of mouth. Because if you think about it, we're not plugging this anywhere. We haven't got it advertised anywhere, and maybe that's something we can have a think about. How do we spread the word? Do we talk to people at Macmillan? Do we talk to people at Cancer Research, or how do we go? Because I don't really want to be out sort of shoving it in people's faces. I don't want to be bombarding Facebook and all my friends saying, listen to me. I feel a bit uncomfortable doing that. I don't know if you feel the same.
Yeah, because I was hoping that it might get to a point where we can kind of, once we've got a few more people, if they listen or they've been listening to a couple of them, we can let them know that if you want to just join in, and you want to come on for a chat or anything like that, or if you think it helps in any way, then by all means, ask if you can come in for a chat. Do you know what I mean? I think it would be a good idea, really. And then at least we know then that someone's going to sit there, they might think the same as us. Because, as you know, the other week, I had a really sort of a stressful kind of a day, and I couldn't get onto this. And it was one of those where everything I touched that day went wrong. And I was like, oh, sod it, I'm not going to bother. And but once I got on and we chatted for an hour and we bantered a bit, I went down. I was a completely different person and went back downstairs.
Yeah.
And if that can happen for somebody else,
you're a different person when you've done this chat. You come out all happy, aren't you? You're not like, it's Monday.
Exactly, Andy. Exactly, mate. Yeah.
And you know what? If anything, it just serves the purpose of making us three feel better.
That's right. Well, I do every time, because while you're chatting there, you're not thinking about what's going on outside or what's happening in your day or what could be happening tomorrow. You just sort of having this kind of a chat together. And I just think if someone else was to, I'll be made up if someone was to, get in touch and say, well, could I have a chat? And they told us about their bit of a story and said, if they've got a car, it just gives everybody, it'd just be a buzz. For me, anyway, if I knew that someone was getting something out of it, a bit of help.
Yeah, well, that brings me on quite nicely, actually, Darren, because my wife mentioned to me, I think it was yesterday, and she said, "I've listened to all your podcasts," because she hasn't listened to anything up to now.
No.
And she was just sitting on the sofa, and I didn't realise that she'd listened to all three of them.
Oh, right, yeah.
And then I thought, oh Christ, I'm in the doghouse now. I've obviously said something I shouldn't have done. And she was like, she was really complimentary, and
Right,
she said she thought they were really good. She thought that Darren bloke was a bit of an arse, but Andy was a lovely chap. No,
yeah, I've been called worse, so I don't care.
But no,
thank you for the compliment.
No, she thought it was really good, and she enjoyed it, and she actually came up with an idea. And I'll put it to you guys, and it's something to think about. But she said, because one of the ideas I'd come up with was talking about how it impacts the family. So we've talked about how how it impacts us, but it also has a major impact on your family, and in particular your partner. And she had the suggestion of maybe having a call one day where we talk to the partners. We talk to your partners. So it would be Jack, Kelly, and Amy, and we could talk. They could join the call, and we could sort of ask them how it's impacted them and how they feel about things, and because they've been on this god awful journey with us, and it's just something to think about. And obviously they'd need to chat beforehand, and
good point.
But it would just be nice to get another perspective, really, instead of just three blokes who whinging about all their ailments. They're the poor buggers who've had to live with us throughout it, really, haven't they?
Yeah.
No, it's a cracking idea, isn't it?
Yeah. It was like I say, it was an idea of hers, and I don't know how we do it, whether we're all six of us have a call or whatever, but we can have a chat offline about that. But so that was something that we could do in the future. And like you say, Darren, if anybody shows an interest, or we could always mention it to sort of family and friends or who have been through certain things. My sister, my sister-in-law. I'm hopeless with known family, so she would. Yes, my sister-in-law. She's listened to this as well, and she really likes it. And I'd love to get her on here, but I don't think she doesn't. It's not really to do with cars or cancer, but she'd be great on something like this. So I don't know if we can think of a way where we can get different people on, and they can talk about their experiences or know of other people that have been through it, and all sorts. But anybody who wants to come and have a bit of a chat.
Well, when you were saying about sort of letting people kind of know, because you haven't put anything out there, and you mentioned like with Macmillan, it might not be going ahead into the new year. You might be able to maybe get a bit of a flyer done or something like that type of thing. Have it put on at Macmillan, like when people do go in, sort of chatting there. We go into the office and they can see, and just put it there. If anybody, you tell them briefly what it's about, and if anybody wants to get in touch, then sign up, get in touch.
That's not a bad idea.
To read it, we won't have to do hundreds or thousands of copies. We just have to literally put one in. Like where we went to see the first time at Stafford Hospital, in the little office at the front there. That was ideal. That was linked to the course. If there was something like that, and say, well, we have got some lads here that are doing this. They've all had cancer. And they've set this up, and they sort of just come on and have a chat. And if you've got a car, great. if you're into your cars. If you're not, still get in touch.
Yeah. I mean, all they have to do is listen, don't they? Really, they don't even have to get involved.
They don't even have to get involved. They want to. No, they can just listen. They want to. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and we could put those flyers. We could, we could go to the cancer ward or something like that, and say, do you mind if we put a couple of flyers, or have a listen first if you think it's appropriate or not. And somebody could be going through treatment, and they could be sitting in a waiting room, and they could just pick up a leaflet and go, I might listen to these guys. It might just help pass a bit of time, and it might go from there. Really, just be nice to get the word out there. And
definitely. I think so.
And if we can get people in like that, we can sort of educate ourselves and educate others on things, can't we? I mean, I would love to get my consultant on here, but I'm not sure it'd be something he'd like to do. I don't know if you've ever watched Gone Fishing with Paul and Bob, and they get his consultant in and they talk to him sometimes, and I just think it's lovely just to talk to someone like that, and and just educate yourselves on cancer, and maybe we can spread the word on how we can talk to people and say, well, just because you got cancer doesn't mean it's the end of the world, doesn't mean you're going to die. And it is going to be a bit of a crap road for most people, but there's a good chance these days you can come through it. And there was just some thoughts to come up with, but I like that flyer idea. Yeah, it's a great idea.
Drop some pointers in and down, and then we have a chat and see what we come up, and then the ones we think that are going to be good, just make a note of them, and then we'll see what we can get put up onto the new year and give some of them a try and see if we get any feedback from them.
I think it's a great idea. Yeah, and if you think of anything, Andy, as well,
I'm all up for that.
Yeah. You could wear a sandwich board, couldn't you?
Go in the market square, like something like that.
Yeah, or I just thought if he goes into the cancer ward, because he's in and out of the hospital all the time, and he could walk in with a sandwich board. Handing out flyers. I think that would be good. That would.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That'd be good. That would, Andrew.
Okay, I'll knock something up in the shed.
I've got to be careful what I'm carrying, you see. I can't carry a heavy sandwich board. You know what I mean?
Oh, no, that's right, mate. That's all right. It'll be very light material, don't you worry.
Yeah.
You can't get out of it that easy.
No. So
I'll tell you what's going to be another a good thing if people are listening. It's such a wide variety of things that happen to you when you've got cancer, when you're going through treatment, or when afterwards. So if someone was there, say, just happened to be listening tonight, and they've had somewhere on their body a similar thing to what you're going through, Andrew, if you're going to see the plastic surgeon and he's brought these ideas out, they might not have thought about that. They might not have even heard of it, and they might not be as fortunate to have someone on the other side of the fence that said, well, this is an option for you, that's an option for you. And because not everybody has had that. Some people wait for ages and say, well, I've not been offered that when I was at hospital. So if they was there listening to something like we were talking about 10 minutes ago with the plastic surgery side of things, somebody might think, well, no one's mentioned that to me. But I said, I'm going to ask my consultant about that. And straight away, that's a plus for what we're doing. It's helped someone, hasn't it?
Yeah, and it's also given them an idea of what the process is as well. So they might be thinking, oh, Christ, plastic surgery. Oh, my God, I'm going to have full face reconstruction and breast implants and God knows what. Because that's what you think of when you think of, sort of plastic surgery. And actually, it's a lot more than that, isn't it, really? And, so going on Andy's journey, that somebody, like you say, somebody might be going through that at some point or not even realise they're going to be on that journey. And they might just think, oh, I remember that podcast I listened to a couple of years ago. And this chap called Andy had this, that, and that done. If it helps anybody, then absolutely great, because it's already helping us three, isn't it? Just talking about it. So if anyone else gets help, then
so I can't see why it wouldn't help somebody else just listening to it. Because if I was laying here in bed, I was at one point, and got this there, I'd be more than happy just to sit in and just listen to it.
Yeah, well, there's no effort.
I've been listening to some of that it would be good. Yeah, I think so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about cars, shall we? Because Andy, you've been busy, haven't you? You've been tinkering on your car, and you've been sending us all sorts of crap from TikTok, haven't you? It's,
Yeah.
yeah. So you've been. I've seen your picture. So you've been stripping the front end of the Nova, haven't you?
Well, I should have sent you a picture before. I had my exhaust and my manifold was all wrapped in this heat wrap stuff.
Yeah.
That you touch with your hands, and it's like loft insulation. You get real itchy off it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, don't touch it then.
Well, yeah, but yeah, you have to touch it in my car if you're trying to do something. So basically, I've read up about this ceramic coating that you can have done on the exhaust.
Right.
Have you heard about it?
I know you can put it on your bodywork for cleaning your car and stuff.
Yes, yeah. I mean, they do it on exhausts as well. So I think I'm going to send my exhaust and manifold to be ceramic coated.
Okay. And what would that do then? Is that going to keep
So
the heat in?
apparently it makes, I don't know how it does it, but it makes your car go faster. I don't know how it does it, but apparently it does.
We'll cover the whole car in it then.
Yeah. So that's that. Anyway, the main reason for stripping it down was I want to fit a new front bottom valance to it. So that's like underneath it, there's a bit you can see that I've cut out. I want to cut it all the way off and then put that new valance bit on the bottom. But I'm only halfway through cutting it all off now. With having a family, you've got to come in and do bits and then go back out when you can go back out. But yeah, I'm slowly getting there now.
But I think it's brilliant. You're working on a car, mate. I mean, if you think this is great to show people that 2 weeks ago this guy's having chemo and it's making him feel like crap.
Yeah.
And now he's tinkering around in the garage.
Yeah.
On his car. So it doesn't mean okay, I've got chemo and that's it, and I can't do anything else. You obviously had a good day. You thought, right, I'm going to crack on.
If you'd asked me 2 weeks ago if I've been doing that over the weekend, I'd say no. I'm too tired. I won't be able to do it. But I'm going to do it, and I started doing it, and I felt fine. So yeah. I mean, this is normally my better week for feeling how I used to when I was on chemo last time. So this is as good as I'm going to get this week.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, that's really is great to see you out tinkering on the car, and means that you've got a level of energy and you've got some strength and you've got that desire to do it, and it's brilliant therapy, isn't it? To be not thinking about the C word and actually doing something that you enjoy doing.
It's amazing. I mean, I love my Nova, and I've loved it all through having cancer. But like you say, you just forget about everything you're going through. Oh, if I just get me spanner down there, I can just undo this bit. Yeah. Then you're on to the next thing, doing that. And when you look at the time, you've lost 3 hours.
Brilliant.
Like, it's just gone, yeah. It's time to go back in.
Oh, and that'll create a memory, won't it? You'll be driving that car in years to come, and you'll be thinking, oh, yeah, I remember when I replaced the valance on this, and I was going through my treatment and stuff. It's
no, it's really good treatment. Excuse me.
No,
I think it really is good.
Cool. Darren, you've been tinkering on the motor at all?
No, mate, I haven't. When I come back, 'cause I haven't used it for 2 or 3 weeks before I went away, so I just come back and took the cover off and took the charger off. It's always on like a trickle charger. I've just heated it up and just had a quick run on it just to get everything going again. I haven't actually done anything as yet. I have got a couple of jobs I want to do on it over the winter time, but at the same time I'm trying to get this utility room all redone, all the floors in, and it's half tiled. I've just started putting the actual kitchen cupboards in now, putting them on the walls and just getting it ready to carry on tiling. It's had to have a new manhole lid a cover put in with the all that a stainless sort of steel top, so it's all infilled with tiles and that, so it all looks nice and flush when it's all finished. So I'm getting there. It's just time of doing it, really. It's just little bits and bobs. It's like I went out there tonight, I had a couple of hours out there tonight, and I've got a bit more ready, but I've had to put some more sealer down where the concrete's dusting still in one place, and until that stops I can't put any adhesive on for the tiles and carry on with the tiling. So it's getting there in bits. It's taken quite a while, but you get out there and it's nice enough to do it. The only thing is, when I'm out there doing that, I'm not sitting up here doing any pictures, which is that's what I like doing. and that's kind of that. Or as soon as you get inside the garage and start doing something on your car, when something does need doing to it, that'll be different again. But if not, sitting up here just doing drawings, really, mate. To be honest with you, it's such a it's sort of
Relaxing.
stops you listening. Yeah, I don't hear the tinnitus screaming in my ears and stuff like this, or feel the I take the notice of what's going on in my mouth and my bloody cramps in my neck and that. You know, I just sort of switch off. I have no radio or no nothing on. It's just completely silent, and I don't hear anything. And it's where's that 3 hours disappeared to? I say to Jack, I'm just going to go upstairs for now while you're watching them soaps, and I'll be down then. I look at the 9:45. Oops, they go back down.
No, it is great when you can just escape and time just absolutely flies by.
Yeah. I'll just give the garage a bit of a tidy up, and I was going around there yesterday, give it a quick clean, sorted some stuff out because my son's been doing some of his wheels in there for his car. He's rubbed them all down right back again, and he's gradually built them up, filled them, primed them, and he's put all the top coat on. They're back on his car now, so he said he tidied it up, but there was quite a lot of stuff to put away still when I got in there. I come back off my office. So I was out there doing that, and it was, I looked around and I thought, I'm lucky to have this really, because the amount of space I've got in there, even though there's a big car in it,
Yeah. Oh, you've got one hell of a garage. It really is. That's like my dream garage, having that garage. I'd love a garage like that.
I'll sod off the pair of you.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You
haven't got a garage, have you?
Oh bloody hell! Sorry, mate. I want to mention it if I remember.
That's absolutely fine. Yeah, you crack on. I'll go on mute, and you two can just compare sizes.
Well, I had to build a big garage, not really, because I've got to have somewhere to run this canoe.
Yeah, that's right.
Get it all set up, ready.
That's it, mate. Yeah. I was thinking about putting it on a couple of cords and hanging it from the ceiling, and I could sort of practice the swerve when I go on the slalom course.
Yeah.
I'll tell you where you can stick it. Yeah. All right, I've got a question for you. Have you got a pen and paper there? Yeah.
No, don't worry
if you have or not.
I was getting much in the way of pen to paper.
Don't worry about it. It's okay. I just thought of a silly.
I'm glad you said that, because I can't write anyway. Well, I can in my way, but it probably isn't how you're supposed to do it in English lesson.
Yeah. Have you got sort of writing a bit like a sort of a doctor's signature? Is it that kind of thing?
I just tend to write everything down as you say it, not how you should spell it. So this is what the teacher always told me.
Yeah.
Which probably comes from something to do where I come from. You don't pronounce all your letters, so you write it how you say it.
Okay.
You come back the next day and like, what does that say?
Yeah.
I can't remember.
Okay, I've got a question for you then.
Okay then.
So, Santa, yeah, because we're getting to that time of year now, aren't we? So, if Father Christmas has got 2 cars, have a think. What 2 cars do you think he's got? So, what's his daily driver?
What would his daily driver be?
Yeah, have a think. What would his daily drive? I'm just kind of interesting to see what you'd imagine Santa would drive. So, what would his daily driver be? So, and then what's his going to be his weekend car? So, I imagine Santa's into his cars. I think he's got a bit of taste.
Yeah, I don't know.
He's definitely a Ford man.
I think his daily driver he'd have something just practical, like one of those Kia Sportage things, whatever they are.
Really?
Yeah.
But I'm going for an 850 Volvo.
I'd got Volvo as well.
Yeah.
An 850.
I'd got an estate. I'd got a Volvo estate written down.
Yeah, like an 850, like a touring car one.
Oh, I was going the one a bit after, the one where the back lights sort of got that weird sort of curve in and curve out.
A good Volvo that would get them around the world and back.
Yeah, it'd be an auto, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Oh yeah. You can't have them doing gear changes.
No, it'd have leather interior.
Yeah,
and it's got a fair few miles on it.
Oh yeah, like over 300,000 on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
he does a tip run in it. Yeah, he's got a tip run. He's probably got a tow bar as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see Santa in a Volvo estate. I think that would be him, and I could just imagine his wife sort of sitting in the car, and yeah, I think a Volvo estate. I'm struggling with the Kia Sportage. That's a modern car, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but you didn't say it's got to be a classic, did you? Because he's got to be up with the times. Because you know what I mean.
This is just his daily. I just think he's sort of. Yeah, I don't think he's really bought into electric yet. I think he's like.
They wouldn't have electric.
No, I think he's still
plug that in, would they? There's nothing to plug that in the North Pole, is there?
No, good point. Yeah, actually,
no.
Yeah, so it'd definitely be a petrol auto. Yeah. So what about his classic then? So what's he gonna have in the garage? What's he polish up and take out? Yeah, what's he take out on a nice day?
A Rolls Royce Silver Cloud.
Oh, bit of class.
Yes. Yeah. Oh. Definitely got to have something classy.
I'm gonna go big guns on this one.
Yeah.
Go on then.
Like Vauxhall Carlton, Lotus Carlton. Green.
Oh well, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. 100 grand's worth of motor right now.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've gone a bit left field.
Go on.
I think he's into American cars.
Yeah.
I think I'm not very good with American cars, but it would be something from the 70s, I think, sort of the Mustang era. But I don't know if he'd be a Mustang man.
What about Eleanor?
No, that's a bit too. It's a bit too. I don't know what the word is. A bit too much for him.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a little bit more understated, but it's got a bit of a grunt to it. You know, it's got about like a 600-litre engine, but it only's got about 30 brake horsepower, that kind of thing. But he's got something like that. So I don't know, a Chevy Nova or something like that. It's one of the few American cars I can think of. I just thought he might be into his American cars. That's where I was.
Yeah, I guess he could be.
Yeah,
got a few Rangers.
If the Ranger was on the blink, he's got plenty of room if he had a big station wagon, hasn't he?
Yeah, and he's got the Volvo as well, so he can get the presents in the back of that, can't he?
Yeah. With a tow. To tow the box, a converted horse box.
Yeah,
you get a bit more stuff in the back of that. Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah.
I imagine it would be sagging a bit. I imagine the suspension's getting a little bit tired at this age.
Yeah.
So it will be on its arse when the trailer's full of presents and stuff like that. Yeah. But I don't think he'd bother. I don't think he'd be too bothered. He'd be like, "Oh, it's all right. It's fine. You know, he just catches on the arches. It'll be all right." I think he's that sort of guy.
I remember days like that when I was 16, Aid.
Why were you driving at 16?
I bought my car when I was 16.
You what, sorry?
I passed my test till I was 17.
Yeah.
I did a year of doing it up.
Ah, okay. Yeah. Right. I thought you were going to say I had a year of illegal driving.
No. I mean, I did grow up in the countryside, so I probably could, but no, I didn't.
No.
We had like a long drive, and used to drive up and down the drive.
Oh, what was your car? What did you drive in?
I had a Vauxhall Nova, didn't I?
Oh my God! Surprise! God.
So that video I sent you the other day that was on TikTok.
Yeah.
That was the Courtney Sport Vauxhall Nova.
I saw the one with the Colin McRae's garage with all his cars in. I saw that one.
No, this was one Courtney Sport. This was back. I mean, I was 16, so
yeah,
£20,000 to spend on a car. I mean, I was on like £3 or £4 an hour then.
Oh man, that's mega money, though, mate.
So I was like, I want one of them one day.
Yeah.
No, I think you sent us. Oh, you sent us part 1 and part 2 on TikTok. Oh, hang on. Oh, I didn't realise. I was just having a look on my phone now. There was one I didn't click on.
It's a green one.
Oh, Top Gear Courtney Turbo Nova. Yeah. Oh, right. Okay. Because I'm not on TikTok. It only plays a few. It doesn't play very much. It only plays a few seconds.
I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh my God, that thing's awful.
What?
Oh, hang on. He shows you a crap Nova, and then he shows you the Courtney Nova afterwards. Oh, look at that dashboard. How dated is that? I've told you I had a Nova, didn't I?
Yeah, you said it was the worst car you'd ever had.
Yeah, it was the worst car.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
I had a Mini, and I loved my Mini, and then my mum was getting rid of her Nova, and it was a 3-door cream Nova.
Mark 1?
Yeah, Mark 1. I think it was called, is it the Merit? Did it win the Merit? Did they do such a thing as a Merit?
Yeah, they do Merit, yeah.
Yeah, it had about as much power as a gnat's fart, and I don't even think it had. The steering wheel was huge. I remember that the steering wheel was massive.
Yeah, and it's off centre to the seat, the driver's seat.
Yes, that
weird
rings a bell.
situation to sit in, like
yeah. And there's a stupid parcel shelf under the dash, which I kept banging my legs on.
Yeah, that's not in the Mark 2. That's only on the Mark 1.
Mark 1, yeah. There was a stupid shelf there, and so I bought it off my mom, and I hated it. I drove it once and I hated it, so she had it back, and she parked it outside her house. And one night, somebody stole the front headlights and the windscreen.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's incredible, isn't it?
To get a windscreen now, I mean, Kelly had one as well when we first started going out, and I had to go and get one from the scrapyard. The first one we tried to get out, we broke it. So that it is an hard job to get that out in the dark, I'd say, Aid.
Yeah.
So, but to get the headlights out, you've got to get the bonnet up, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you've got the windscreen out, you can pop the bonnet then, can't you?
Yeah.
But I mean, what a bizarre thing to steal. You just think, well, I'm this far, I might as well just take the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that
Crazy,
was absolutely bizarre. So I'm sorry, Andy, that they're not top of my list cars, the Nova. But I can appreciate yours because the amount of time and effort that you put into yours. But
that's mint. That is lovely motor. Yeah.
It is a great motor, and you'll have to take. Can you get people in the back, Andy, or is it just a 2-seater?
No, it's only got 2 seats, Aid.
Okay. You'll have to take us out in it.
This year, I might bring it up and show you if I get all the bits done to it this year.
Yeah, or we'll come and visit you or something, and
bring it up to see you. Yeah.
That would be good. That would be really nice.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Cool. How are we doing for time? We've done about 50 minutes. This seems to come to a good time to sort of bring it to a close, I think, this evening, gents.
I reckon so, mate. Yeah, it comes on. It's about the right time, isn't it, every week?
Yeah.
Do about an hour, like,
Yeah. Any plans for the week ahead? Anything exciting to report on?
Sweet.
I've got my brother's coming round with his JCB loader to cut my front tree on my drive.
Anything else? I thought you were going to say he was bringing his Scooby with him, and I was going, oh.
No, that's my older brother. He doesn't do cars like my younger brother does.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to Spa with my younger brother, not with my older brother. My older brother, he's a big farmer, isn't he?
Right, okay. That's a country guy, yeah.
Yeah, he's all farm. Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay. How about you, Darren? Anything exciting?
No, not a great deal, mate. We were just getting back we had quite a lot on when we got back over the weekend. We saw the grandkids and that, so we was out with them all day Sunday, that sort of thing. And then during this week, I'm just going to see if I can get as much done as I can out in the back in that utility room, try and get that well on the way. I was hoping to try and get it done before Christmas if I can. So it's out of the way, it doesn't run into the new year. That's my plan. But other than that, no, I've got probably going to go around and have a look at my brother's car if he picks it up today. He's been to get a Triumph Stag by all accounts. He had quite a journey to go to get it, so I couldn't go there because I had to go to the dentist this morning. So one of my other brothers, I think, took him down, but I haven't heard anything yet. He normally sends me a picture or says everything went well, but I haven't heard anything. So I should have to get in touch and see what's happening about that one.
Oh, we'll get an update next week.
Going out for a meal tomorrow night with a couple of friends, but nothing really on as such, really.
You got anything planned, Aid?
DIY stuff, I think.
I'm hopefully having a tinker on the car on Friday. I've got a mate coming round. He's going to help weld in the rear suspension brace on the Mondi because I'm putting the 4-wheel drive gear in it. So the original has a suspension, has a brace that goes between the two turrets at the back of the car. So hopefully he's going to weld that in. and I'm hoping to get the transfer box on. So, and then when the transfer box on, I can get the prop shaft and the prop shaft mounts in, and try and get it running, try and get it rolling at least, and get it off the axle stands and make it look a bit more like a car. And I'm going to go and pick. I'm going to go pick up some wheels on Wednesday. I'm going to buy a second-hand. I'm buying a second-hand set of wheels. I'm buying off the ST200.
Yeah.
Which is the Mark II. It's in. I think they'd only did them in blue. I was fanning about with all different wheels, and I just thought, well, I might as well just go with a traditional Ford wheel, which was made for that car. It would probably suit it better, and I've just got to watch the pennies. So I'll get a set of those. I'll get them reconditioned and put some tyres on, and I think it'll look right on that. They should suit it. And wheels, you can get wheels at any point, can't you? So if in the future I want to change them, I'll just go and get another set. But I'll pick those bits up and try and do what I can just before. I mean, the weather's pretty miserable now, isn't it? But before it gets really bad, it'd be nice just to feel as though I end the year getting a few bits and bobs done. And
certainly.
And a rolling shell.
Yeah, absolutely. And when it's a rolling shell, I can get it to places. I can take it to somewhere, and somebody can get the exhaust fitted properly for me. I can get the tracking and the alignment all done and that kind of stuff, and hopefully get it ready in a state so when the summer comes, it's not far off ready to go or good to go.
Thinking it'll be done next summer then.
Yeah, I want it done for next summer. Yeah. I mean, the MOT is up on my car in March next year, and I'd love to get it on the road for then, but I'm probably pushing it a little bit, so I might have to fork out for another MOT for 12 months. But that would be nice. I'm just sick of pissing about with cars and not being able to drive them, so I just want to get this one done and actually enjoy it over the summer period.
That'd be good.
Yeah.
I did see saying about cars and things to do again. I think they're putting at Donington. I'm sure I read that they're going to be putting 3 the historic racing. They've got 3 events they're going to put next year because they haven't done it since before COVID. They've had a few shows up there, different types of racing and things, but they haven't had any of the old touring cars and that. And for some of the classic car racing, they're going to be putting 3 new events on. So I haven't seen anything yet. So it might be worth looking out for that one.
Yeah, I'll be well up
because they have got other things on as well, but they are definitely going to put on 3 more of the actual racing, the older races and what have you, which is pretty good because they've got a wicked mix on the last one I went to.
Yeah, no, I'd definitely be up for that. I reckon you would as well, wouldn't you, Andy? A bit of
stuff like that. I'm up for,
yeah. And it's a nice place to go to that as well, isn't it? Nice and easy to get to,
Yeah,
nice straight run. Yeah, nice road that is. You get a nice day on that one. It's cracking road to go down it on A50 all the way down. Yeah,
well, that's the plan then, gents. So I'll get my car on the road and we'll go in my car. There we go.
Yeah,
let's get it sorted. Let's get it done.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
cool. Right, gents. Let's bring it to a close.
Okay then, lads.
Thank you very much for your company as always.
Yes.
Andy, good luck with your tree removal. Is it your tree removing? Yeah.
Yes, it needs a massive trim aid. It needs all the bits cutting off now. All the leaves have fallen off.
Sounds exciting. Really does.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, gents. Have a great evening. Have a great week. And we'll speak same time next week.
Yeah.
Take care, gents. Bye-bye.
Yeah. See you soon. Bye.
Ta-da.
Bye-bye.
As always, thanks for listening. If you're able to give us a thumbs up, a like and subscribe, or whatever they do on these channels, we'd really appreciate it. It gives us the motivation to keep going and producing the sort of stuff that we're doing. And we hope you can join us on the next episode. Thanks for listening. Ta-ra.